Have you ever wondered why it's only white English that are called racist, white supremacist, fascists or Little Englanders? Have you ever wondered why the mainstream media do not use the words England or English? They prefer Britain and British, or more likely, in the language of the EU, regions. This little film may enlighten you. It shows how the establishment tries to take your identity to destroy national unity. Police and troops are more willing to attack those that have been stigmatised, people they do not identify with. Here you see the British government at war against the English people. Anyone can be British, only ethnic born can be English, and those of course are the target. This little film takes it straight from the horse's mouth. An ex-president of the USA explains the tactic as psychological warfare. You will also see a BBC policy admitted live on air by a TV presenter named Stephen Fry. It's worth watching his hesitancy and watching his body language when he realises what he has said on air. He's good. You'll have to look carefully. But he seems to intimate that the policy has changed. But all you have to do is listen to the main media, listen for the words England and English. If ever it was retracted, it was very short term. They changed the BBC director shortly after this, and that might have helped to explain it. The reason we English are denied an identity, a nation or a country is purely political, of course, and it all revolves around the EU and the minor countries of the UK. The British government has been deeply infiltrated by representatives of those organisations, and that's why we need out of both, out of Europe, out of the UK, and then perhaps we can form a federation whereby we can all work for the interests of ourselves and for each other. But it's not going to work this way, where England alone is being targeted for destruction. Here we go.
Let's hear President Carter spilling the beans.
Through propaganda, we can derogate our opponents and dehumanize them. You know, we didn't refer to Germans, we referred to Huns. We didn't refer to Italians, we referred to, as you know, we didn't refer to Vietnamese, we referred to Gooks. So Huns and Wops and Gooks and Japs were the short circuit that we would take to dehumanize our adversaries and to reduce them to a sub level.
And now we get to see it in action, courtesy of the BBC.
Can you tell the British from the French in that picture?
Are the British the four-legged ones at the top?
I should say English rather than British.
The English will be the ones not on horses.
That's pretty much true, but also the other giveaway is moustaches. Some of our English fighters were on horses, but the British, or the English, I'm allowed to say English, I'm so unused to being allowed to say English, because they were English, had the moustaches, the Harold's housecarls, plus they tended to have battle axes rather than the lances and things.
The minute I saw this programme, I sent a Freedom of Information request to the BBC. I've provided their headed answer as validation, and then I've presented the body of their answer without the usual bureaucratic bump. And here is the BBC's answer for you to see. You simply need to pause the film and read it. So there you have indisputable evidence that the BBC had and still has a policy designed to scrap England and the English. Let us hope that it never comes to the sort of street violence that we see here.